People ask me all the time, Mike, how do you wash so many houses in a day? And I don't know that it's so many houses, but nonetheless, I have 4 houses today and a gutter cleaning. And it is just after 9 a.m. I'm an hour late. Not an hour late, but an hour later than what I wanted to get started. We did not have a scheduled time. But I still plan to be back to the shop no later than 3, if not closer to 2. At least that's my goal. So I want to talk to you today about how I manage to complete so many opportunities in one day. Don't go anywhere. The first thing that comes to mind is route density. And perhaps the first thing that comes to your mind is, well, Mike, how do you get so many jobs? I mean, it's impossible to wash as many as you do if the jobs aren't there. And you're not wrong. Perhaps we'll save that for another video. But the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm answering that question, how do I manage to wash so many houses or complete so many opportunities? The first thing is route density. You can't be driving all over town and expect to complete all of your jobs in a reasonable amount of time. And yes, I did pre-wet these cars, and I will rinse them very well when we're done. All of my opportunities today are within 15 minutes of each other. And to be honest with you, I really enjoy that 15-minute break. As I get older, I need a good 15 minutes between washes most of the time. But after this wash, I will go right over there and wash that house. Apparently these guys talk. And let me tell you how I do it. This is how I schedule my washes. I break up my entire wash area into 5 quadrants. For the sake of the video, we'll just call them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I actually have names for them. And I know where each quadrant starts and stops. I know what it looks like on a map. And so when the homeowner calls and we settle on a price and a wash date, well, before we settle on the wash date, I ask them, of course, where they live. And I know, based upon all of my scheduling for the week and the weeks to come, when I'm going to be in that wash area or that quadrant. And then I give them the option of choosing that day or a week that's probably, or a day rather, that's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks out. They almost always choose that day. And that allows me to schedule my washes very, very close together. We call that route density. That's key to getting as many washes done in a day's time. Now, as a sidebar, you know that I don't talk numbers on this channel, but I will tell you that before I leave this neighborhood, having washed this house and one of those over there, I will have met my daily requirement or my personal quota financially. Does that mean that everything else left over for the next 3 washes is profit? Absolutely not. There's insurance, taxes, expenses, retained earnings. All of those things come into play. In fact, as another sidebar, if you're interested in learning about all of those things and so much more, then you may be interested in my Exclusively Fresh channel. I'll put a link in the description. It is a pay-to-play channel, but we have a great many members in the channel. We grow together, and I teach you literally daily the ins and outs of pressure washing, customer relations, how to schedule, how to price, all the above. Exclusively Fresh. You don't want to miss it. So route density is the first thing that comes to mind when answering that question, how do I wash so many opportunities in a day's time? The second thing that comes to mind is my high volume, fair price business model. Now I know you're tired of hearing about it, but if I'm going to answer the question, then I have to include that in my answer, because that's one of the main reasons that I wash so many houses. My high volume business model. How does that factor in washing so many? Well, you might notice that this house is not dirty at all. Why is that? Because This is the third or fourth time that I've washed this house. It's almost spotless. Because of my high volume, I'm able to wash more houses because I have so many customers in my database. Over the last 10 years, now in my 11th year, I have literally washed thousands and thousands of homes. This year, my main emphasis in washing has been on repeat customers. I have so many in the database that washing for repeat customers just makes sense. Why does it make sense? Because it doesn't take long. I'm here every year. And because of that, these homes are easy to wash. Therefore, this wash will take me probably 40 minutes, something like that. And then I can move on to the next one. High volume, fair price allows me to have lots and lots of customers that I wash for every single year. The third thing that comes to mind is simple, proper planning. Last night, sometime in the evening, I took a look at all of my opportunities for today. As best as I can, I locate where I believe the hose bib is. I know where to park my truck. And then I also keep tape on my wrist. Instead of walking all the way around the house, taping off all the outlets, I tape them off as I go. And then before I exit that part of the home, I'll simply remove the tape. It's just that simple. Planning ahead allows me to get through these jobs very, very quickly. We'll talk about one more thing, and it's probably the most important thing here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back to the shop, got all my washes done, and I'm super excited to do it all over again tomorrow. Here's the fourth thing that I believe makes washing houses much easier, much quicker, and allows me to accomplish more work than I could otherwise, and that is having the best possible equipment that I can afford. And I will tell you, I started with a 2.5 pressure washing machine for 2 years, drugged that bad boy around with 25 feet of hose, true story, until I could save up and afford a 4 gallon a minute machine. I washed with that, and then I upgraded to a 5.5, and then an 8, and I have a 10, and I did all of that by saving up and having and putting away with retained earnings. That's what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about our Exclusively Fresh channel and how much we discuss retained earnings. Retained earnings is how much you put back after your profit. So after expenses, after all your insurance, all the taxes, everything, what's left over is your profit, and then a certain percentage of that, for me, 12%, goes back into the business. We call that retained earnings. That allows me to have the best possible equipment, electric hose reels, the best possible Flow Pro type of systems, the best ladders, the best machines. All of that is because I have invested back into my business with proper equipment. Let me say this, and I'm going to make a full-length video on this one subject, and I hope to do that very soon, and that's this. Instead of considering your equipment purchases, things that you buy, consider your equipment employees that you hire. Hire your equipment. And I'll tell you why. Because your equipment shows up every day. Your equipment does not call in sick. The best equipment doesn't give up on you every single day. Doesn't call in and say, I don't think I can make it today. I've got an orthodontist appointment and I've got to get my hair did and I got to take the dog to do the groomers. When you hire the best possible equipment, you're hiring an employee who is always there, who always shows up, and more often than not, won't get sick on the job. It does happen, but it's rare. So I choose to purchase the very best equipment that I possibly can. And again, I did all of this with retained earnings. I'm gonna say this one thing and then we'll close out. Business is not an occupation. Business is not your job. Business is a language. And the more fluent you are at speaking the language, the better you will be at business and the better your business will be. Think of it like this. If you were to go away on an overseas trip, somewhere where you do not speak the language, and you get there and you don't have a tour guide, you don't know how to speak the language, you're really going to struggle. You can't order from the menu. You don't know how to ask for directions. You don't know how to take orders. You don't know how to give orders. And you're there for an X amount of time, and this whole experience is ruined because you don't know how to speak the language. The same as with business. Until you know how to speak the language of business and speak it fluently, you will not have the best experience. And that's why we learn all about business. The business that keeps the bills paid, the business that we hope to see grow, the business that keeps the wheels turning, all of that good stuff. All right, how do we accomplish so much work in today's time? The best possible equipment. I'm gonna give you just a little bit of a teaser here, just a little teaser. Not much going on here, just a little teaser.